Billahi ta'ala, barakallahu fikum. Let's continue, inshallah, in the explanation of al-Bayquniyah. This is our second run through al-Bayquniyah. And what's our goal? Our goal is to start Alfiyah al-Iraqi. May Allah enable us. I'm really eager to start there, inshallah ta'ala. And yani, on a personal level, I can just open the book and start there. But khalas, yani, we have to earn it in Me Too altogether. We're going to earn it by finishing this here, inshallah ta'ala, and then moving up to the next one. We're going to start with the next line of poetry. I have it written here for you. The author says, معنعن كعن سعيد عن كرم ومبهم ما فيه راو لم يسم. معنعن. So the next type of hadith is the one called معنعن. معنعن is a type of hadith. Ka, like عن سعيد عن كرم, like this here. كعن سعيد عن كرم. معنعن كعن سعيد عن كرم. معنعن is a kind of hadith. Yani, it's something that exists in the chain of the hadith. Like عن سعيد عن كرم عن Fulan عن Fulan, from. An, which means from. An Sa'id, an Karam. And then you keep going, an Fulan. So this kind is called Mu'an'an. So you can hear the point of the name there. So that's a type of hadith. I'm not going to do too much talking here. We went over the metin already before. Now I just want to clarify the line for you to prepare you for what the explainer has to say, as Sheikh Al-Jabarti, rahimahullah. So, وَعَنْعَنٌ كَعَنْ سَعِيدٍ عَنْ كَرَمٍ. There's a type of hadith called mu'an'an. It's like to say, عن سعيد عن كرم ومبهم. And there's another kind called mubham. So when I say there's a kind, all of that is implied. وَمُبْهَمٌ مَا فِيهِ رَاوٍ لَمْ يُسَمْ. And mubham is what? In it, there is a narrator, unnamed. Mubham. Mubham means ambiguous. Okay, so that's the line we want to look at now. So let's see. The explainer says, with the text weaved into the explanation, or with the explanation weaved into the text, whichever way you want to say it. Mu'an'an is mubtada. That's the subject of this sentence here. Mu'an'an. Now, it has tanween here. So it's saying a mu'an'an, not the. But we can take off a and just say mu'an'an. But the word by itself is indefinite unless what's meant by this word mu'an'an is a proper name, the actual name of the kind, the name of the category or the type. As an alam. If that's what's meant by saying mu'an'an, then it really is definite. Then it's like saying Zaid, someone's name. Whose name is it? If that's the case, the name of the category. If it doesn't mean here that, then it's indefinite. A mu'an'an. And it's the subject of this sentence. كقولهم عن سعيد عن كرم. Like when they say an Sa'id, an Karam, or like for someone to say, or like for them to say, majrurun bil kaf. Now, Sheikh Al-Jabarti is saying this whole phrase here that's between parentheses, as you can see here, an Sa'id, an Karam, that whole phrase, Sheikh Al-Jabarti is saying it's being governed by this kaf here. So he's basically saying all of this is acting like one word. This whole phrase is like it's one word. For example, what if we put in the place of this rectangle here the word this? That's one word. مععنعن مععنعن يعني هذا كهذا مععنعن is like this. That's one word. Like this. But it's not one word there. There's 4 words there. So all those 4 words are basically like one word here. That's what Sheikh Al-Jabarti is saying. كعن سعيد عن كرم مجرور بالكاف محكي. Mahki. That's the meaning. It's cited. It's like one thing. It's like citing something. One thing. Let me give you an example. What if a woman's name were Shaba Qarnaha? Shaba Qarnaha. Nice name, huh? Shaba Qarnaha. Okay, that's her name. Does this mean something? This means her 2 braids were gray. Her 2 braids were gray or white. She has 2 braids on the side, like 2 horns. 2 braids. They are white. That's the meaning of this here. So what does means that that's her name? Means that when we say that's her name, means one thing really. Her name is Shaba Qarnaha. So like that. Ka'an Sa'idin an Karam. Like this. Like an Sa'id an Karam. Mahki is cited like that. الجار والمجرور متعلق بواجب الحذف لوقوعه خبرا تقديره معنعن كائن كعن سعيد عن كرم. Sheikh Al-Jabarti is saying what this means is mu'an'an would be like saying عن سعيد عن كرم واكتفى المصنف بالمثال عن الحد. And the author of the poem, Al-Musannif, he sufficed with an example instead of a definition. So that clarifies then what we were saying in the beginning of the Baykuni poem. If you remember, he says, وَذِي مِنْ أَقْسَامِ الْحَدِيثِ عِدَّةٌ وَكُلُّ وَاحِدٍ أَتَى وَحَدَّهُ. وَذِي مِنْ أَقْسَامِ الْحَدِيثِ عِدَّةٌ. And these are categories of hadiths counted. وَكُلُّ وَاحِدٍ أَتَى. And everyone came. Each kind came. وَكُلُّ وَاحِدٍ أَتَى وَحَدَّهُ. With its definition. So we said, with its definition or an example, actually. Yani, if someone actually studies the Baykuni poem, then he's going to know that when the author said in the beginning, everyone comes with its definition, that it really means or an example, with its definition or an example, because here it came without a definition. Rather, it came with an example. معنعن كعن سعيد عن كرم. معنعن is like عن سعيد عن كرم. So he sufficed with the example, yani he gave you a picture as opposed to giving you a scientific definition. وقد ألحق به الحديث المؤنن. And annexed to that kind is another kind. Yani, there's a kind just like it. It's called al-mu'annan. ويقال له المؤنن. And it could be called al-mu'annan. وهو ما فيه أن. That's one that has أن in it. أن means that. That as a particle. Yani that which almost means to as a particle here. Infinitive particle. Infinitive particle. Not pointing noun. That's not pointing noun here. That's infinitive particle. حرف مصدري. نحو أن فلانا قال, such as that Fulan said. So mu'an'an is from Fulan, from Fulan. Mu'annan is that Fulan said, that Fulan said, that Fulan said. كذا, said such and such. والناظم لم يذكر هذا القسم لشبهه بالمعنعن. The author did not mention this category because of its resemblance to the mu'an'an. وذهب جمهور العلماء إلى التسوية بين المعنعن والمؤنن. And the majority of the scholars have taken the position that mu'an'an and mu'annan are the same. Yani are equal, rather, are equal. ويشترط في العنعنة اللقي عند الإمام البخاري. And it's a condition for a chain to have an'ana in it. Oh, well, something interesting here. The explainer didn't give us a scientific definition either. It's as if the explainer sufficed with the picture and saw it clear enough. The explainer, rahimahullah, says, وَيُشْتَرَطُ فِي الْعَنْعَنَةِ اللُّقِي عند الإمام البخاري. For an'ana, an'ana, an'ana. What's that? That's the attribute. The attribute. Yani, I wrote the word on the other spot. Here, mu'an'an. That's the report that has the mu'an'an is the report. Why does this report have this name? Because this report has an'ana in it, this attribute. It has this attribute. This is the sifa, the attribute, the an'ana. Since this report has this attribute, we're going to call this report mu'an'an. What is this an'ana? It is the succession of an in the chain. Series. It's the series of an in the chain. So if a hadith has ana in it, yeah, it crosses my mind how I would translate that. From. That's the from hadith. From Fulan. From Fulan. For the hadith to have ana in it, it's a condition. According to Imam al-Bukhari, that there was a meeting, luqi, encounter between the two people on both sides of that word an. The two people on both sides of that word an. For al-Bukhari to accept this, he has a condition, which is meeting, luqi, meaning, if it's confirmed for al-Bukhari that the people who are saying an fulan, an fulan, an fulan met each other, then it's fine for him. If it is not confirmed that they met each other, then it's not strong enough to get inside of Sahih al-Bukhari. Understand that too. This is the meaning of this talk here. When he says it's a condition in the an'ana, meeting is a condition in the an'ana according to Bukhari. According to Bukhari, he means here to qualify for Sahih al-Bukhari in particular, to get into that book. Al-Bukhari has more than one hadith book and they don't all have the same conditions. And that's a strong condition. Yani, if you are a novice at this, you might say, okay, sounds fine. That's good. Makes sense. That's a strong condition. والمعاصرة وإمكان اللقاء مع عدم التدليس عند الإمام مسلم. But Muslim has a different condition for a hadith that has an'ana in it. Which is, his condition is mu'asarah, being contemporaries. Being contemporaries, wa imkanu liqa, and the possibility of meeting. Not the confirmation of meeting. Ma'a adami tadlis, with also the lack of trickery. So, for a hadith to qualify to get into Muslim's authentic book, if I'm talking about a hadith that has an'ana in it, so all of the narrators are saying from Fulan, nearly. Yani, what's the issue? Also, Sheikh Al-Jabarti, he didn't mention here in the explanation. What's the issue? And as if he didn't mention it because it's obvious. What is the issue? The issue is when you say from Fulan only, that's not explicitly saying, I heard it from him. It's just, it gives the impression when you say from Fulan that it means I heard it from him. It's not explicit though. So could mean it comes from Fulan. It could mean when you say from Fulan, could mean what I'm telling you comes from him. Not that I heard it from him. Would someone be tricky like that? They're not trickier than the Muslim scholars, though. So Muslim, he has a condition for a hadith, a mu'an'an hadith, to get into his authentic book, which is that the people who are on both sides of the word an, from fulan, those who are on both sides of that from, according to Muslim, his condition is that they are contemporaries. That means they lived at the same time. وَإِمْكَانُ اللِّقَاء, and it's possible that they met. It's possible that they met. So that's right there. Not as strong as Al-Bukhari's condition. And Muslim has an additional condition too. So not just they are contemporaries, not just that it's possible that they met, but also that they are not known for trickery in their narration. What's the trickery in the narration? Like I told you, basically the trickery here means it's not lying. It's just not saying it. He's saying it in a way to give you an impression, but he's not lying to you. So if all of that is confirmed for this mu'an'an report for Muslim, then it can get into Sahih Muslim. No, you shouldn't say that's a weak condition, because this is Sahih Muslim we're talking about here. The experts said Sahih Muslim is number 2 after Sahih al-Bukhari. Instead of imagining or being opinionated and thinking that's a weak condition, rather say al-Bukhari's condition is stronger. Just don't say Muslim's condition is weak, though. In general, though, the scholars accept the an'ana as a continuous chain if there is no trickery involved. If there's no evidence of trickery, then in general, they say it's a connected chain. Yani, does it have the judgment of ittisal, connectivity? Connectivity? You know, connectivity is one of the conditions of acceptance for authenticity. That's what we want also. We want a hadith to have authenticity. That's what we are looking for. So the answer is yes, if there's no trickery involved. Any question? Now, I explained for you the line. You saw the line that we reviewed here. وَعَنْ كَعَنْ سَعِيدٍ عَنْ كَرَمٍ وَمُبْهَمٌ مَا فِيهِ رَاوٍ لَمْ يُسَمْ. We finished with this sadr. This is the sadr. What's the sadr? Is the chest, yani the front part of the line. It's the front of the line. I wrote them one on top of the other. But if they were side by side, then this would be in the front. That's the sadr, the chest, or perhaps the breast. وَمُبْهَمٌ مَا فِيهِ رَاوٍ لَمْ يُسَمْ. And this part is called the ajuz. The ajuz, which is the rear end, the rump, or the backside. So we just finished explaining the front. As for this rear, maybe we should save it for next time.